Boys, welcome back to another video. I can't speak that super loud because there's people sleeping, but this video is going to be so different to every other video that you've seen so far. Typically, my videos are just me turning on the camera, speaking to you, giving you some advice, ranting, whatever. This video is going to be a little bit like that, but it's also going to be a little bit different because we're going to be reacting a little bit. I don't know, but I feel like one of those retarded reaction channels, but we're going to be not reacting but reflecting on my old self. So I fully adopted self improvement 3 years ago, and I just pretty much want to reflect. My goal is to persuade. My goal is to persuade you to join this path. My goal is to persuade you to leave the bad habits behind, and my goal is to even show you like what happens when you get on this path, because you wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't interested on this path, right? If you want to be like, you want to be productive, just admit it, bro. You want to be productive, you want to act like, this is why you watch people online, right? This is why you watch so many successful people, and you're like, it would be nice to be rich, it would be nice to make money, it would be nice to be jacked. You know this, you literally want to, you just like, I guess you just don't want to maybe put in the work, or whatever is required to get there. But in this video, I'm going to show you a little bit how you can do that. But we're going to be reacting to my old self. So let's go. I'm down. So the first video we're going to be reacting to, which is like from my old channel from 3 years ago. I recorded this video exactly on this day. Today is the 14th of December, which is also my sister's birthday. But on the 14th of December, I recorded this video 3 years ago in 2022, and we're gonna be reacting over this. I'll give you some reasons to why I even got on self improvement in the first place. Our boys, we literally I've took me so long to get freaking the screen recorder to start working, so I can actually like react this with you guys. But let's go. So this video was 3 years ago. All right, woke up for an effing exam. That's sick. Discipline is key, boys. So okay, guys, let me give you context, right? This was when I was getting into self improvement. I'll give you my backstory after this video, like for more context. But let's just say I was very depressed. I'll give you the entire backstory after. But I just needed to get on self improvement. So literally, the title of this video is called "Day in the Life of a Student on Self Improvement." So pajamas to uni, okay? Dad is dropping me to uni. Okay, let's watch the introduction, guys.
So this is a day in the life of a 18-year-old on self-improvement. Hope you guys, are also on this.
Did I sound really different? I feel like I sounded like a freaking. I feel like I had like -7 testosterone when I made this video because I was just getting on self improvement.
I recommend it. Literally, if you guys are gonna go do something with your lives, I recommend going on self-improvement because it will literally change you based on the results I've seen from other people. I've only been on this journey for like 2 weeks, so you guys might be.
Okay, so that thing I just said. This will change your life based on the results of other people. This is such a key distinction I want you guys to make. Okay, which is when you guys, okay, a lot of people are anxious. A lot of people are like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do this business model, man. I don't want to know. I don't know if I should head to the gym, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And you're just, bro. I saw so many transformations. I saw so many, like, so much good that I already believed it in my head that this would work. I realized that I realized there was no other way. I believe there is no other way to live your life other than self improvement, other than discipline. Self improvement means discipline. Self improvement means the act of doing discipline and discipline activities and pushing yourself. I realized there was no any other life. Everything good, everything successful, everything came out of a disciplined lifestyle. And I realized that from people already. And so I already believed it in my head. I didn't go into self improvement and be like, oh, maybe I'm gonna quit in 3 days. I had no plans of quitting.
Maybe wondering why I decided to go on this journey, and it's a long story.
Okay, so this part is just, what the frick? Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that freaking truck number? 1866 Pride. What the frick is this, bro? I was like embedded with this idea of like escape the matrix, bro. This idea in my head, it was so embedded that every single 9 to 5 job, I had a hatred for 9 to 5 jobs because I viewed it as the matrix. And maybe yes, was I too much? I don't know. I don't care though. Like, I still have very negative views on 9 to 5 jobs, and I think this is literally slavery. Like, imagine waking up at 6 a.m. and you're already at your freaking workplace like that. and you're just working there for like how many hours, and everyone thinks I'm making good money until you realize that they're making chump change compared to how much the freaking bosses are getting. So this was a period of my life when Andrew Tate was like drilling this idea of the matrix, the 9 to 5 rat race, this, and I started to hate anything that got like anything related with the average mediocre lifestyle, such as this. You know,
When I talk about the matrix, I'm talking about the systems which have been created by society, which are deliberately designed to enslave.
so this was when I started to get on a bulk, right? Specifically, this was when I started to take my fitness journey extremely seriously. So this was when I'm like I was going I was trying to go all in on fitness. I was trying to build the most aesthetic physique ever. And bro, it's just this was when I started to eat clean. This is when my views changed on fast food. This is when literally my views changed on fast food. My idea everything changed. You know, I only started to accept clean foods genuinely. Then I would watch these videos.
Alright, so it's actually my sister's birthday today, so I'm
See, December 14th, bro.
putting
See, I just realized, bro, I'm not a good reaction person, right? I just kind of watch videos. I don't have much reaction.
what is too much. But there was a point in my life you eat. Now I don't wanna talk about this too much, but there was a point in my life where I thought starving myself would get me abs and muscle. Now this is actually like it sounds like something like a lot of teenagers would do, but me like for me I don't know what's wrong with that doing. Like I don't understand. I don't want to waste too much time. I want to like do some stuff. I gotta be productive. This is kind of being productive, I guess. But yeah.
Let's go. Started to read my books now. W. Boom. Okay, so let's do a recap of that video. This was one of the most. I was really proud of myself during this moment. Like when I look back now, obviously I was a lot more childish and whatever. But bro, the amount of changes that went through from that moment was freaking nuts. Like, sure, maybe I'm not making $10,000 a month. Sure, maybe I'm not extremely jacked, but the amount of mental changes that has occurred, next level. Like, that version of me didn't know what was to come in the future. You know what I'm trying to say? That version of me didn't know how much better his life would get. And I'm so freaking, like, I don't want to get emotional, but I'm so proud of that younger version of myself. I'm so proud that he decided to hop on this path. As you saw, like let's go back in the videos, right? As you saw when I was reading and when I was watching Hamza and stuff like this, right? Like this is all I cared about. This is all I cared about. This life, like of self improvement, of building a business, of leveling up your fitness, of eating clean, of being your most best self. This is all I was obsessed with, right? This stuff became an obsession. As I said here, like I gotta stay productive, right? And even like I don't drink. I used to drink boba back in the day, but I stopped drinking boba because it was like freaking it's low-key gay. Like so, like you know what I'm trying to say. Like I'm just this is when you start to realize like okay, I'm walking in society. I'm walking in public, right? And it seems like everyone else, and this is not trying to be arrogant, but it seems like everyone else is just blind. It seems like everyone else is just distracted by the freaking matrix. Everyone's just distracted by their phones. Everyone just keeps being fed distractions. And then they wonder why the world is the way they are. They wonder why they die being like without any name, without any legacy, without any purpose. Why most people die being broke. Why most people die without without being successful. Why most people die without fulfilling their potential. When you walk in public after you've been fed all this about how the world works, about how scrolling is a freaking distraction used to keep people weak, and then you step away from that, and then now you're in public, you really, without trying to be arrogant, but you really look at other people on the freaking public transport, on the train, like how I did, and you look at them, you're just like, what? Why are the guys? Why are these guys doing this? Like you feel like you're the only one in this world. You feel sort of like the one that stands out. Obviously, this is all in your head, right? Obviously, to other people, you still seem like a regular guy. Maybe you're not on your phone like everyone else is, but even then, it's just in your head, you're like, It seems like you're the only one alive. Damn, that's freaking deep. It seems like you're the only one freaking alive in the scenario you're in. Not obviously not in the world, but like it almost seems like everyone else is freaking blinded. Everyone else is distracted, just living their life, letting it fleet away from their freaking hands, while you're the only one that's how I felt when I got into self-improvement. You see, like a lot of people think being productive, getting on self-improvement, all this stuff, a lot of people think it's just about like, oh, I gotta be disciplined, right? I gotta be disciplined. I gotta want it bad enough. I need to want it bad enough. Oh, I gotta find that business model that's gonna help my life. No, I don't think so, bro. You know, like being productive, getting successful is not like half of it is not even like being disciplined. The first half is realizing like there is no other life to live but through self-improvement, but the disciplined life. If you can come to that acknowledgement, then the other stuff will be so easy. I think from this moment you watch this video, 10 months after that, or 11 months after that, I made my first $1,000 online, which more than the money, it really showed me that it is absolutely possible to make money online. It made me double down. It made me not look for any other path. You know how some people say, "Oh yeah, have a backup plan. F backup plans, bro." You know, a lot of people look at discipline and they're like, "Oh, these guys must be just hurting in them," and they're like restricting themselves and all this stuff. And the way disciplined people look at normies is that I'm not restricting myself. Disciplined people look at their lives as freedom. Do you understand how deep that is? Like normies think that disciplined people are restricting themselves and oh man, they're really hurting and why are they doing that to themselves? Well, disciplined people look at the normies and they say, I don't want to live like you. This is a major shift in mindset that you need to adopt in your life. And this was by far top 3 biggest mindsets that I adopted back in 2022. And it took months and months and months and months of conditioning by watching videos online and learning more about the subject, learning more about business, realizing this is actually possible, building hope for myself. I'm telling you, boys. Like, if you're somehow hesitating, there is no other life. This is when I stopped playing video games, right? This is when I stopped playing video games. This is when I completely destroyed the idea of playing video games. You know, like I've had these issues. Like I honestly like a month ago, even I would go back to playing video games, and every single time I would play, I would feel bad. Every single time I would play, I feel a headache. I would feel disgusted, because this stuff is overstimulating. Like I know it's sometimes fun to play video games, but bro, it doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't. Like I'm saying this from experience, bro. It only stalled me further. Every single time I've justified video games, every single time I've said, yeah, just 1 hour is fine. Every single time it's made it worse for me. So like stuff like bad habits, I don't know, bro. I'll looked at it as a wave that kept destroying me. A way that I think bad habits just kept destroying my potential. And I learned that, you want to fill your day with good habits as much as you possibly can. Your entire day. Hamza said this back in the day as well. Like your entire day should be productive. Now, does that mean that you're going to be working the entire day? No. But your entire day should be productive, right? You should be doing something towards bettering yourself. Self-improvement is to better yourself in every single way possible that you can. Small habits. The book Atomic Habits is freaking nuts. It's one of my favorite books ever, right? It's so good I gave it to my friend. I let him borrow it. Because I need him to watch it too. I needed him to read it too and implement the steps. But like you don't understand the idea of progression, the idea of because you know how good it feels to be productive, right? Because we've had those like episodes, when the new semester starts for school, you tell yourself, yeah, I'm gonna be productive from now on, yeah, and then what happens, bro? You stay productive for the first couple of weeks, and then the stress comes in for university. Oh no, I'm having so much workload from university. And then your friends are like, yo, let's go outside and let's have fun. And then, just scrolling, you start scrolling more, that motivation dies down. And then what ends up happening is you start watching more YouTube videos, and then you start fapping on Pornhub, and then you start doing this, and you start playing video games, and then you start going out to parties for uni parties, because you need a break. All of a sudden, your motivation went away. And the moment the motivation went away, everything else came inside, all the distractions, and now you're not studying, and now you have exam times, you have midterms, and you're literally studying 2 days before the midterm, 1 day before the midterm, and then you wonder why you keep getting 55% on your freaking test. I'm saying this as someone who used to get I got a 30 on one of my, I think I got like a 20 something on one of my midterms, 20 something for a math midterm. It's not the freaking teacher. It's not that the smartest person in the class got a 73. That means that the teacher marked really hard. No, the courses, my guy. or a girl, the courses are made for you to get a 90 if you really do it. You know, like don't use the smart guy getting a low mark as a justification. Maybe the smart guy didn't study good as well. Doesn't matter how smart he is, he probably didn't study enough for a 90. What the idea of this is, you know, the idea of hard work, the idea of staying productive, it stops becoming motivation. It stops becoming motivation once you make this a value of your life. Once you make this a center, like tenant, like a freaking mission, like your entire goal of your life, it stops becoming like motivation. Once you change your beliefs about everything else around you. Motivation will only take you so far, but if you don't change your beliefs about scrolling, if you don't change your beliefs about video games, you're gonna keep going back to them, right? Once you start looking at these stuff, instant gratification, as Jeffrey activities, as activities that keep you down, leaving them is not as hard as you think. Bro, I think a lot of us we're looking for a purpose. Okay, boys, like I think a lot of us is looking for a purpose. Like if I go back to my old self here, you know, a couple of literally a month before I made this video or 2 months before I made that video, I was at literally the most depressed moment of my life, right? Without trying to like reveal all the bad stuff I did at that moment, like I was very insecure about who I was. A lot of the bad habits I did, a lot of it was just because I wanted to escape from who I was, right? I wanted to escape from who I was. I still remember during this time, like, I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I acted. I hated the way I felt. I wanted to be someone who was noticed, valued, in the spotlight. I wanted someone to, like, you know, when someone just, like, F this and they just become their most, like, best self. They become, like, the main character of people's lives and they're just, you can take a look at them and you're like, yo, he's him, bro. Like, you know, he's so confident. He's so freaking charming. He's like, and I wanted that. But, like, you know, I felt like I was always in the shadows. And so my way of expressing that was through video games, through bad habits. Bad habits filled a need. It gave me that need of purpose, accomplishment, success. I think our brains are so, like, our lives, our lifestyles are so freaking dull. Obviously, you do bad habits, right? Like, if you're someone who's still doing bad habits and stuff like that, obviously you do bad habits. I mean, if your life has no literal meaning, like you do nothing productive in your day, or you're not moving towards a purpose or a goal, no wonder why you keep going back to video games, right? No wonder why you keep scrolling, because scrolling is an idea that my life is so crap that I'm gonna watch other people and their lives online. That's what scrolling is. This is why you go on Instagram. You go on Instagram to see other people's lives because your life is horrible. I'm just saying it bluntly. I will say this to my old self like the same way. Sure, you might be like, no, I go there to talk to my friends. You also end up scrolling for like 3-4 hours. You don't like your life right now, which is why you keep going on these apps. And it's fine. That's completely okay. Most people don't like their lives. Most people are not happy with themselves. So it's fine. You can literally admit that to yourself, and that's fine. But it's what you're gonna do about it now. How are you gonna, like, I'm telling you right now, bro, the moment you fix the relationship with yourself, like as you saw in these videos, the moment you fix the relationship with your life, the moment you fix the trajectory of your life, which way you're going, and no one says you need to be disciplined like crazy. The moment you start working towards a bigger purpose and mission, you're gonna be like, what's that purpose and mission? Purpose and mission is just how fulfilled can you get in life. Bad habits, I have this saying, right? Bad habits are symbols. They are symbols, and they represent a bigger meaning. You know, bad habits are not just like, you don't just do them because they're nice to do. Obviously, sure, you can look at it like that, but bad habits have a deeper meaning. They fill a need in our life. What's that need? As I mentioned earlier, scrolling is probably because your life is freaking crap. You know, video games, again, your life is freaking crap. You need to feel progression. Don't lie to yourself. That's why. Once you acknowledge that these things are not normal, bad habits are not normal. They're not meant to be a part of humanity. Think about that for a second. Scrolling Instagram has been so normalized. Content watching has been so normalized. So normalized. You know, and these are like the most tame of them. Video games, porn. These things have been so normalized that you think they're normal to watch. That we think that it's normal. These are not meant to be part of humanity. This is why, guys, we're all being locked up. We're all chained up to our freaking desires. And we wonder why we can't get anything in life. And to some people, they might be like, no, it's not a big deal, bro. I like to enjoy my 20s. Alright, bro. Enjoy your 20s. Let's see how your 30s become. Let's see. Because I'm sure there's many 30-year-olds right now that were partying the frick in their 20s. And now these 30-year-olds are working a freaking minimum wage job. Or they're working an office job. And they're overweight. And they're literally sweating. Like, they're wearing their freaking button-up t-shirt. And their armpits are literally wet from their freaking sweat because how fat they are. And they smell. And no girl looks at them. And their wife hates them. And their wife doesn't respect them. You can literally tell they're sleep deprived from their freaking eyes. You can tell that his kids don't even respect him. Yeah, because you have a pleasured mind. You have a pleasure-filled mind. You put pleasure first over your own self. One thing that Hamza said that really, like, that really stood out to me 3 years ago. They took away happiness from their future selves. So I'm imagine right now I woke up and I started like jacking off and I started scrolling and I started playing video games. What would my future self think of me tomorrow, in a month, in a week, inshallah, God willing? Well, what would he think of me? He would freaking hate his life. This video is benefiting people. This video is literally contributing to the business that I'm trying to make, to the YouTube channel I'm trying to build, to the community I'm trying to make of you guys. Making this video, imagine my future self is gonna be like, thank you, bro. Thank you for making this video. Now I have this amazing community of people that watch me every single day. We give value. We have this purposeful network. We have a business because of this. I'm making money because of this. I get to move to a different country because of this. I'm becoming more successful. Thank you, younger self, for making this video. When Hamza said that, I was literally mind blown. I was like, wow, this is why most people are depressed. They keep stealing their own happiness away from themselves. Listen, to end it off, life is all about growing, right? You grow in age, you grow in wisdom. Life is all about how your future self will reflect, in a way. Of course, life is all about being present in the now, but it's also about the situation of your future self, because the way you live your life now, the lifestyle you live now, will automatically affect what your future is going to be, in a way, with the permission of God. If you keep smoking cigarettes now, don't be surprised if you get cancer in the future. Just cause and effect. If you keep scrolling now, don't be surprised why you can't hold conversations with people in the future and you're so lazy, because scrolling makes you lazy because it destroys your dopamine. Don't be surprised in the future why you can't sit down to focus on your work or your homework or your freaking assignments. If you eat crappy food now, don't be surprised that your future self is so fat. And by the way, one thing about food is, it's not the fact that you just become fat. Fat is just a byproduct. When you eat crappy food, it destroys the way your brain, it destroys your gut microbiome. Again, destroys your dopamine receptors, destroys your attention span, and it destroys your physique as well. On top of that, and the freaking ice as an icing on the cake, and then that destroys your confidence, and then that makes you insecure, and then that makes you a low part of humanity and society, where no one even freaking gives a crap about you. How many people, like the black pillars, how many people live like that on a daily basis every single day, where no one gives a crap about them? No one, everyone, so many people that just live being unnoticed, unknown in society, in humanity. Imagine 70, 80 years of your life and you're not even known for something good. But I don't know, I thought this was a pretty interesting video to make. I know we got really deep, but I don't know, I just thought this was really interesting. I was actually meditating this morning and I got this idea, like, yo, maybe I should be reacting to some old videos and talking about a little bit about the things that changed me. And I started like smiling. I'm like, yo, that would be a sick video, right? So hopefully this helped you if you're still watching up to this point. Boys, I love you guys. Please get on this life. Please get on self-improvement. Please get on self-improvement. Because you will see the changes. Sure, the changes are not going to be physical, but as Iman Gaji says, private victories need to come before public victories. It's all about your growth, bro. Self improvement is not about making money. It's not about, no. It's about your freaking growth. Making money will come, but it's about your growth. It's about how much of a man can you freaking become. How far away can you get from being weak, right? Other than that, boys, get on this life. And if you have any questions, DM me. If you want to book a free call, I'm doing free coaching. I made a video, like watch my last video if you're interested in all that stuff. I started doing some free coaching stuff. The reason why I'll get into later. But yeah, watch that video. It explains everything. Other than that, boys, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum.